Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a family with 3 beautiful daughters. The youngest daughter's name was Ilido, which meant gold. Her parents chose this name because they believed she was as beautiful as gold. However, because of her extraordinary beauty, the villagers began to call her Mama, which meant beautiful. As Ilido grew up, her beauty increased, and her nickname Mama stuck. It became so common that even her family started calling her Mama. Eventually, everyone forgot her real name, Ilido. When Mama introduced herself, she used the name everyone knew her by. Mama, you are truly extraordinary, like a rare gem, the villagers would say, marveling at her. Thus, Mama became her identity, known and admired by everyone in the village. But Mama was not just beautiful, she was kind and talented in many ways. Being the youngest of 3 sisters, she looked up to her elder sisters, Ifoma and Adobe, who were also beautiful. Mama deeply loved her family and took pride in her sisters. However, as she grew older, she realized that beauty alone could not bring happiness. At the wedding ceremonies of Ifoma and Adobe, which were filled with music, dancing, and promises of a bright future, their marriages to wealthy men from the city promised to continue their education. But once they were married, these promises were broken. Despite her husband's wealth, Ifoma's husband was unfaithful and often left her feeling alone and abandoned. Adobe's husband was abusive and frequently accused her of infidelity. Both sisters were trapped in their unhappy marriages, unable to support themselves independently due to a lack of skills or education. One afternoon, Mama went to the city to visit Ifoma. The palace was beautiful, but the atmosphere inside was cold and sad. Ifoma sat by the window, looking forlorn. Mama, you must be careful, Ifoma warned, her voice trembling. Don't let our fate be yours. Beauty can attract the wrong kind of attention. Mama nodded solemnly, understanding the depth of her sister's despair. She then went to see Adobe, who bore a fresh mark from a recent beating. Why don't you leave him, Ada? Mama asked, tears welling up in her eyes. I have nowhere to go, and I don't want to be a burden to our parents, Adobe replied, her voice barely a whisper. Mama returned from the city after visiting her sisters, her hands full of good things. She brought gifts of clothes, food, and other items her sisters had given her. Her mother warmly welcomed her as she entered their small, simple home. Mama, you are back, she exclaimed, her eyes shining. What did you bring? Mama handed the bags to her mother. Here, Mama, these are from Ifoma and Adobe. They wanted you to have everything you need. Mama's mother began to open the bags, smiling at the contents inside, but Mama's heart was heavy. She could no longer hold back her feelings. Mama, I need to talk to you, Mama said, her voice serious. Her mother looked up, sensing the urgency in her daughter's tone. What is it, my child? Mama took a deep breath. Mama, Ifoma and Adobe are suffering. Ifoma's husband is always cheating on her. Her mother sighed and shook her head. Mama, you are still young. You do not yet understand marriage. When you grow older, you will see that a woman must endure her marriage, just as I have. Mama was confused. But Mama, if they are unhappy, why should they stay? Mama's mother sat down, looking at Mama with a tired face. Do you think I stay with your father because I am always happy? No, Mama, I stay because it is my duty as a wife and mother. We must be strong for our family. Mama felt a wave of sadness. But Mama, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to suffer like Ifoma and Adobe. Mama gently took her mother's hand. Mama, every woman has her own struggles. Marriage is not always easy, but we must do what we can to keep our family together. Tears filled Mama's eyes. Mama, I promise you, I will not settle in a marriage like my sisters. I want to study, become a fashion designer, and make something of my life. Her mother looked at her with a mixture of pride and concern. You are wise, Mama. I hope your dreams come true. But remember, life is not always as straightforward as we wish. Mama nodded, understanding her mother's words but remaining determined in her heart. She knew she had to follow her own path, no matter what. She hugged her mother tightly, feeling a deep love for her but also a strong resolve to change her fate. Mama was returning home from school, chatting with her high school friends. They were all impressed by her embroidery skills, admiring her designs and talent. Mama, you are so talented. Everyone loves your clothes, said Chiner, one of her friends. Thank you, Chiner, Mama replied with a smile. I just love creating beautiful things.